Here's more wrestling news for July 29th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include WWE reportedly holding Queen of the Ring finals in Saudi Arabia. Mark Carrano lied about WWE employees sexually harassing women and selling drugs to wrestlers. Hurricane teases creative collaboration with Nikki ASH. Indi Hartwell makes hilarious observation about current WWE NXT storyline. Batista trends as hilarious commercial goes viral. WWE released more talent today. Pro wrestling legend appears before AEW Dynamite. Eric Bischoff believes AEW hiring ex-WWE stars will shift focus from younger stars, and more. We're kicking off with the upcoming Queen of the Ring tournament, which is set to happen this October, immediately after the WWE draft. Andrew Zarian had previously reported that the tournament will kick off on the October 8th SmackDown, and in an update, it's noted that the finals will take place in Saudi Arabia. WWE crowning their first Queen of the Ring at a Saudi show is a huge deal, given that when the decade-long deal began, female superstars were banned from appearing or attending the show, and a video featuring Carmella during the Greatest Royal Rumble led to an apology from the Saudi Sports Authority for indecent material. Since then, progress has been made, with Renee Young calling the action at Crown Jewel 2018 and Natalya defeating Lacey Evans at the following year's event. It's been reported that WWE will be having their next Saudi Arabia show on Thursday, October 21st, and we'll have to see who is the first to wear the crown and where she'll be coronated. In April of this year, WWE fired Mark Carrano from his long-term contract with the company, and despite all other recent releases being explained as budget cuts, his departure had nothing to do with money. Carrano was fired after it was revealed that he was responsible for Mickie James being sent her belongings in a trash bag, but since then, a lot has been said about WWE's former Senior Director of Talent Relations. Carrano's ex has claimed that he stole WWE's championship belts and hides them under the guest bedroom bed at his West Haven home, and has even said Carrano was trying to be fired from WWE to claim an outstanding severance package. Now, former WWE referee Marty Elias is speaking about Carrano, who he believes is responsible for the company not bringing him back since his 2009 firing. Elias, who officiated The Undertaker vs. Shawn Michaels Classic at WrestleMania 25, was released for wearing a KISS shirt to work, breaking the company's dress code, but in an interview with Wrestling Inc., claimed that Carrano had spread false rumors about him to WWE's higher-ups. Elias explained that in 2017 he contacted Triple H about work, and this led the game to ask Carrano why they haven't done business with the referee. With fellow referee John Cone present in this meeting, Carrano claimed that Elias had been physically harassing the Divas whilst employed, which included calling and texting them without their consent. Carrano added that Elias had heat with all the referees and that nobody liked him, and even claimed that the former ref had been selling pills to the male talent, painting Elias out to be some kind of monster. In the interview, Elias denied every claim Carrano made and said the former Senior Director of Talent had a vendetta against him, which led to these untrue accusations. He explained that after the talk, John Cone told Chad Patton, who in turn told Elias, who contacted Triple H about the matter, saying that if any of these claims were true, it would have killed his career working on Netflix's Glow series, as well as any career in TV and music. Elias added, "I did reach out to Paul, Triple H, and his assistants from time to time to ask if I can at least talk to Paul and get my 5 minutes with him to clear my name, because I don't care if I ever go back to WWE or professional wrestling. I've made my mark, I just want my name cleared." I said, "This is not true. These statements and these accusations that are very slanderous and can really have an impact on my career, whether it be television, music, or professional wrestling, and unfortunately, Paul never got back to me. Nobody ever got back to me. A couple of times his assistants did send me correspondence saying, 'Oh yeah, Paul would love to talk to you, let's connect,' but nothing ever came of it." Elias never returned to WWE, but is slowly making his way back into the wrestling world. And with Carrano no longer in the picture, perhaps he'll finally get to have this long overdue talk with WWE's COO. Back to the present, and as soon as Nikki Cross became almost a superhero, many fans compared her to Shane Helms, who wrestled for years as the Hurricane. Although some have said Nikki ASH is a ripoff of the Green Hero, Helms has been very pleased for Nikki's recent success, and now the WWE producer has some creative ideas for the character. During the bump, Helms teased that he might have some suggestions for Nikki ASH, but he's not giving them out just yet, and he didn't close the door on a possible superhero team-up. Helms added that he tries to be in gorilla position every time she comes back, and we know that he was one of the first to see her last week when she became Raw's Women's Champion. In this era, superhero team-ups on the big screen are commonplace, and if Helms gets his way, then a hurricane will be coming through to Monday Night Raw very soon, alongside the Raw Women's Champion. NXT news now, and as Dexter Lumis continues to try and win the heart of Indi Hartwell, Johnny Gargano is very protective of his The Way teammate. Next week, Lumis and Gargano will face off in a Love Her or Leave Her match, the second match of its kind after the SummerSlam 1999 encounter with Shane McMahon and Test. That isn't the match that Hartwell herself was thinking of though, as on Twitter, she said next week's encounter has the same energy as the SummerSlam 2005 ladder match where Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero battled for custody of Dominic. A lot of fans got the joke, and many commented how Papa Johnny will wrestle Lumis, who also apparently wants to be Indy's daddy. Next week's show has already been pre-taped, but we won't spoil the result here, as you'll just have to tune into NXT next week to see if Index can continue to be a thing. Now, both in the ring and on the big screen, Dave Batista has had a lot of roles, and this week, the Animal performed in arguably his strangest role to date. In a minute-long commercial for a new Disney bundle project called The Streamer, the Animal once again showed off his acting chops in an ad that left people in stitches. Countless fans were talking about Batista, who was trending on Twitter, and the consensus was that the former WWE World Champion is the best actor to come from WWE, surpassing the likes of John Cena and The Rock. Another fan even called Batista an upgraded version of the Brahma Bull, as his performance in the ad is just the latest role that he's been praised for. The Disney bundle will allow people to have Disney+, Hulu, and ESPN for $13.99 a month, and we imagine that plenty of people will be signing up, thanks in no small part to Batista's epic performance. Back to WWE, and after a year of mass firings and corporate layoffs, the company has saved a ton of money, but they're not stopping just yet. Fightful Select report that WWE has now made more cuts to corporate, with names being fired from marketing, shop areas, and other consumer product divisions. Thankfully, Fightful note that no talent are expected to lose their jobs during these layoffs, and that several people who were fired in the past few months have been told by their former colleagues still with WWE that there's a good chance they'll be brought back. These latest layoffs come before the company's 2021 second quarter earnings conference call, which will take place later today between Vince McMahon and investors. Last week, WWE confirmed the release of Canyon Ceman, who was let go as Senior Vice President of Talent Development, and now even more names have been cut from their bottom line, despite the company's record-setting profits. Over to AEW next, as last night's Fight for the Fallen event took place in Charlotte, North Carolina, a city dripping in wrestling history. Before Dynamite, AEW had a very special guest in attendance as David Crockett, son of Jim Crockett and brother to Jim Jr., was introduced by Tony Khan. Receiving an ovation from the crowd, Crockett sat in on the AEW Dark taping and joined the commentary team for the show. This was a really cool action by AEW, as the Crockett family helped shape pro wrestling into what we know and love today, and we'll have to wait until AEW Dark airs on YouTube to see how David did on commentary. And we're ending with Eric Bischoff, who knows what it's like to appear for WWE and AEW, and he's not pleased to see the All Elite promotion hiring so many ex-WWE stars. On his 83 Weeks podcast, Bischoff addressed the signing of the likes of Andrade and Christian Cage, saying that having these bigger names will take TV time away from younger, less experienced talent. Bischoff added that bringing in established names who have a fan base already will naturally mean they'll be used more, despite AEW claiming they're an alternative to WWE who are focused on younger stars. The former Raw general manager pointed out that this will get even worse when CM Punk and Daniel Bryan join in September, as there's no way AEW would opt to not use these two massive names on their weekly TV shows. Bischoff knows all about hiring ex-WWE superstars, as he did plenty of hiring in WCW, but given the hirings of Andrade, Malachi Black, Punk, and Bryan in the past few months alone, It appears AEW are more than happy to hire former superstars, even at the expense of their homegrown roster. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.